The party are partway through a dungeon. The boss is dead. But does the greatest danger still lie before them? Oh yes it does. Session 20 of Dragon Age. Hit it! Well, here we are, Laurie.
Once again, we are here.
Fresh from session 20 of Dragon Age.
Oh, yeah.
Without saying too much at the moment, it almost felt like us, the players, weren't going to even survive it. Let alone anything else.
Yeah.
And this was the more dangerous session. You wouldn't have thought that, would you?
No. Not after what we just faced and almost died towards.
Eopa, Kalag, all of his guards, how bad that could have been, the fact that he got silenced like he did.
That was lucky for us. Because if he hadn't gone silenced, we would have been done.
And I don't care if he kills you.
Oh, you kind of, maybe in a minor way, because of the way you put it before. You wanted to see this party through to the end of the arc, perhaps. But
indeed, but I wouldn't fudge anything to save your lives.
No, that's a different matter altogether.
Exactly.
There's no point fudging the dice rolls.
Exactly. You always know that if you've won, it's hard work.
Yeah.
So,
especially in a situation like that.
But things got really, really bad. Let's carry on from where we were.
Yeah, after my little being stuck to the statue and, like, losing health constantly from that.
Did you have fun there? The idea of that...
I'm stuck. Get me the fuck off of here!
The dungeon turned everything on its head, didn't it? All the tanks who normally absorb damage...
Which is me.
...were the most prone. Especially against the magnets.
Oh, yeah. It's like, metal armor, magnet. Metal armor, magnet. Hello!
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
Can't say I have. Not really. Not even all my time in Dungeons and Dragons, really.
They ended up in a corridor that pushed down and then turned. Then as it turned, you spotted a false floor section that was going to give away as a pit trap. You successfully spotted it.
Yep.
You were at the front, and if you hadn't spotted it, you'd have triggered it. That's why I had to have the running order of everybody.
Yeah.
And I sometimes just ask the running order, even if it's not important. So the guys never really know. Sometimes I might be asking, and you might not know. You might be thinking, is Rob asking as a dummy reason? Or is he just asking so he can apply it later?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, oh, you're going along this route. It's like, okay, who's at the front? It basically means this person could be the one who's not going to get hit by something because something's coming up from behind us.
I might be saying, well, what's the running order? To misdirect you away from something else. Or I might be trying to work out who's at the back.
Yep, or who's in the middle. You never know with these things. Because when you want to know the running order, it could be someone at the front, the back, or the middle, or it could be just something random that even occurs. Right, this person gets hit first, basically, if something like it happens.
Well, no, sometimes when I need to randomise, and there's 4 of you and I want to D4 roll, I sometimes use the running order.
Yeah.
To roll my D4.
Yep. Or
the positions on your table clockwise. So I'll be like, okay, Carrick's there, she's here, blah, 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 blah. Right, you're 1, 2, 3, 4, go. All right, 3, And I use that really fast. Exactly. I don't have a system, no alphabetise, it's what's on the table.
Yep.
So everything affects everything, I like to feel, you know.
Well, if it was alphabetised, to me, it would be the one getting the hits first if you rolled a 1.
Well, there you go, see. Yeah, but that's too complicated, so just what you can see.
Yeah.
You know? And if they shift position, that changes the rolls. You never know what's going to happen. So I just use anything. You can't guess what I'm doing.
If you have a system, stick to it.
You can't ever guess what I'm up to. Anyway, you all managed to jump this section of floor.
Yep.
It was like, whoa.
Going about, nobody tosses a dwarf.
There was a bit of complaint saying, geez, that room is still on.
Yeah.
I hope we don't have to come back this way.
That was me, basically, primarily. It's like, yeah.
That magnetic room is still humming. Oh dear.
Not good.
Mind you, it's nice to be away from it now.
Yeah.
So, you've made your way round then into a section that led to a door.
Yep.
So you open that up carefully, suspecting there's going to be something on it. Phelan took a look underneath and tried peering under the gap and all this. You're already, concerned and It's just an empty living quarters of Eopa.
Yeah.
The now dead Eopa. You know.
Yes, the dead Harlock.
The room is clear.
Harlock? Genlock, sorry.
The Genlock emissary. So you have a bit of a look around and you loot. So you loot a bit of silver.
Yep. And potions.
A couple of potions, a red and a blue. In wild
Red
terms.
versus blue.
Yeah. And the Battle Master Notes.
Dun dun dun.
For the intention of the Darkspawn to take the entire northern half of the Frostback Mountains.
Oh dear.
With their tribes of white-skinned warriors.
Well, aren't we lucky that we stopped that?
Again, you know, in the lore, the Frostbacks were never taken.
No, they weren't. That's why. That's why, because we were there to stop it.
Yes. You guys have stopped that.
We could still die here, though, but we stopped at least one bad problem.
Who gives a crap about the Warden and all of this?
Everybody.
But this party has its own concerns. You're too busy worrying about your story, aren't you? To worry about any of that rubbish.
Yes. Everyone else is like, oh, the Warden saved the day. Yeah, only because we were there to stop something else from happening that would have caused him more trouble. Or her more trouble, depending on what you played.
Well, exactly. I think, you know, obviously the lore has its own created one, doesn't it?
Yes.
Of course.
The Warden in general.
They
just called it the Warden. Just like Hawk is just called Hawk.
Hawk in Dragon Age 2 is kind of the mage, isn't he? And then it's...
The trailer shows him as a mage, and he's a blood mage, and
Yeah.
and he's obviously male and has his own look naturally. You know how it is. They just do this. They did the same thing with Mass Effect with Shepard.
Yeah. No, I did use
generic Shepard is a soldier.
I did use the assault, the generic Shepard look and.
But everyone builds their own lore when they play it, and things change naturally. I mean, you could have two people playing the same soldier class, but they could be built differently, or they've done things differently.
Well, it's all the romance options and all that. Of course, we've got romance options in this. Amelia's had a fling.
Yep.
Karak's married.
Yep.
Tanador whores.
Yep.
And something else happened that was awkward later. Anyway,
Yep.
anyway, at the moment you've had some slimes wanting to get off with a lot of you.
Oh dear, goodness me.
But you're in the opera's room, you've looted all that good stuff.
And lo and behold, what do we see on the rear wall?
A door.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little green bit of slimy tentacle bit sticking out through the split wood.
Yeah.
And so you come along and you attack the tentacle bit,
Cut it off.
Slice it off, and then it's still stuck in the wood, impenetrated. And Tanador tries shoving a blade into it, and the viscosity begins to thicken, so he feels like his blade's going to get stuck. So he quickly retrieves it. He's like, "Whoa, okay, I'm not messing around with that."
Yes, there's one thing I've learned: never be first to put your hand in some viscous material.
I think it might have been non-Newtonian. Let us play some bassy music at once. So, anyway.
Oh dear.
Anyway, then.
Yes, like, it seems to be looking like similar to the slime that we fought before.
Yes.
So what do we do?
Now I'm sitting there as the GM thinking, they're not going to open the door, are they?
They're not stupid enough to open
They're
the door.
not going to open the door.
What do? We prop a table up against the door and open it a couple of inches.
And then it all begins to seep out because the other side is 1,000 by 1,000 feet room. The entirety of which is filled by a giant mutating ever-growing slime.
Yeah.
It's too big to actually fill the room, and that's why that bit is sticking out. And finally,
why the fuck is it even in the first place?
It's mutated. It was a normal slime, and it's grown.
So Eopa's done some weird magic-y thing to it, and it's made it go crazy.
Something happened to it, and it's grown.
So yeah, we let the slime loose.
1,000 feet by 1,000 feet. It finally unfurls.
I was
pouring out through the door.
Slam the door shut again.
Yeah, you couldn't do that.
Nah.
You weren't strong enough. The power of it was seeping through, just from top to bottom. So at this point, you decided run. But just before you did, Karak set the whole corner of the room on fire.
Yeah.
All of like the Eopa's
pouring
personal
oil
belongings.
We poured some oil out and we set the room on fire. And it's like, yeah.
Now, because you'd propped the table against it and didn't fully open the door, it was seeping out slower. Had you just opened the door like a big thickos,
we would have been completely engulfed by it in a matter of seconds.
I wouldn't have made you engulfed. I'd have had you all quickly decide, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
If you don't say I'm running,
You're fucked.
you're probably going to be engulfed. If you say I'm running, I'll give you a running chance and begin stamina running tests. And then you've got to have to make your way quickly back through all the hazards while running,
Yeah.
while this thing is now gushing after you.
Yeah. We would have been some severe deep shit in that point.
Remember, guys, you can get at the notes, the conversion notes for this, and obviously, again, the file underneath in the info bar to run this yourself. But obviously, there are a few changes that aren't there, like like the fact that the slime isn't in the original file. So, obviously, watching the video gives you the master copy of everything I did. And there's something right at the end as well, which isn't written down at all anywhere.
Oh boy.
Because I didn't know it was going to happen. But anyway, right.
Well, we didn't know if it was going to happen at all.
No. As I was thinking, oh, well, you might not open the door and you might make your way back and just leave. Or you might set off the slime, I thought. You might get chased by it, have to run, realise, Christ, we're not going to be able to make it up north or we'll trap ourselves off, right, and leave out that way, and then it fill up the cells which are in the north way, which you haven't investigated yet, and kill the kids.
Yep.
And lose them both.
Yep.
Or you could have run in the north and you'd have been trapped, hurriedly trying to find another way out in the north.
The fact is, if we'd gone north first, we would have missed everything in the south occurring in the first place, so it would have then become a case of, like, if we went north first and then decided to go south to just explore everywhere, you know the deal, it would have been a case of, like, right, now let's get the fuck out.
Exactly. But, it worked out the more fun way round like this, didn't it?
Yeah.
But I'm not going to twist it. I'm going to have what the dungeon's there and let you find it based on what I know is there. And, it's good going in. I had a really good handle on all the elements of this dungeon.
Very true.
What was hit. It's good to sort of know your dungeon well. I know that seems obvious.
Oh, yeah.
But if you can, like, shut your eyes and see an above view of it in your head. And there really is nothing to beat except that visualised thing of actually having, like, an overhead map drawn, is there?
RTSs have ruined you.
You could just...
I kid.
Something visual's easy to follow, isn't it?
Yeah, much so. Much more so than not.
And of course we've got the whiteboard there, so every little turn and passage I'm drawing it in as you go, and the rest is a fog of war. RTS have ruined me. The rest is a fog of war.
You're doing it.
So anyway, it's seeping out slowly after you. So you run, and then you shut the door there as well.
Room on fire, shut the other door.
And then you go around the corner and try and jump the trap. And Phelan and Karak
Failed the jump.
missed the jump, fell through the bloody trap, through the thing. Phelan got his dexterity right and landed well.
Yeah, reflex save for half damage.
Half damage, yes. Damn, you're making me sound like a D&D GM. This is awful. I'm so ashamed.
Oh, it could be worse. You can have fortitude and will saves.
Willpower and constitution. So,
that's basically it.
roll the 3 d20s. So,
just don't roll natural ones, or you're hard to fuck. Which Carrack did do at one point.
Yes.
On a climb test later on, but hey.
The slime hasn't even got out of the room yet.
Yeah.
Because it's leaking slowly. Oh, it's so good that you prop that table there. And it's things like this that I gave strong experience for. It's forethought. It's intelligent action. Though you've made the encounter easier, I've rewarded you.
Yep.
Because it's intelligent thinking, or where something's been done RP-wise. Now, I will reward that.
Yeah.
Because it's entertaining. It's like, whoa, I didn't think of that. You've surprised me. You've entertained me.
I've got to give credit where it's due, haven't you, really?
That's the credit. That's what experience should be given for. A GM shouldn't reluctantly be handing out and thinking, this didn't really...
It was like, they didn't have any trouble with it, so I'm going to give them nothing.
Oh, there you go, 16,000 experience or whatever, because the module tells me to. Yeah. Bullshit. You should decide it based on their performance, shouldn't you? What you think is deserved.
Well, I've been reading the whole Rise of the Rune Lords book, and there's a lot of things in there that say, like, right, if this occurs, give them the full experience anyway.
Yeah.
As if they had defeated said monster.
Right, okay.
In some cases, it could be considered it's a good thing to give them the experience. In some fashion, it might be also considered a bad way. But then again, with Dungeons and Dragons, depending on how you've got the level system playing out with Pathfinder, there's 3 speeds. There's slow, fast, and medium, obviously. Which at fast, you need like 1,000 experience to get to level 2, which is the natural, as far as I remember, back in 3.5. In slow, you need like 3,000 or something.
Yeah, well, in Dragon Age, it's very, very slow. Because you're level 4, on the cusp of 5.
Yeah.
About 400 and something away. 480 away.
410.
410 away, even then. From level 5.
Mm-hmm.
And you're on session 20 playing.
Yeah.
That's quite a lot of sessions to get to this point.
Indeed.
Each level becomes chunkier and chunkier. The next thing is 15,000.
Yeah.
From like a
And
level.
I know what I'm doing when I get there.
So that's a 4,000 jump.
I've already got my level plan sorted. I just need to roll dice for
hit
health.
6. Which is then your full tier 2. And specialisation options. But anyway,
yeah, like I said, I know what I'm doing. I just need to roll dice for health is all.
That's going to take many sessions still. So,
yeah.
Pressing on.
At least 4.
You had the problem of getting to the magnetised room.
I'm like, balls, this is not going to go well.
Tanador, Jez was on about, plays Tanador, was on about taking his armour off and leaving it at the door, which, was a viable idea.
I was like, right, you're going to have to spend money to buy new armour, right? Was basically what I was saying to him afterwards. Mm-hmm. When he was deciding to do it.
It was very, very strong magnets. And you decided in the end, all right, we'll take Phelan and Carrot. Phelan's tried retrieving his Morning Star from the statue, and he did the whole sort of like the Animaniac's feet up on the statue pulling, I guess. Well, not quite, but he's only a dwarf. He can't get enough leverage. And no one decided to help him because I guess they thought it was funny. Tanador lent him a dagger.
Mm-hmm. I was like,
so
I was basically just like, nah.
I mean, he's a crossbow fighter anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah, if he wants to buy a new one, that's his prerogative.
So, he couldn't get that free, he had to give up on it. And Tanador waited with you at the entrance, and you had the rope tied onto the door handle of the room. Yeah. You shut the door there so that it would be...
And we did the whole... We had 2 other ropes, which we then tied to... I tied a small amount of a hoop around one end of the rope that we were on, and tied it around our waist so we could slide the rope along, walked across.
But things didn't work out so great.
No.
Amelia got by just fine.
Yeah, I got lucky. This time round, I got lucky.
I gave you a really difficult one and then a really easy one to get by.
Tanador, however, went straight across.
Yeah, it's not necessarily just strength. If it wrong foots your acrobatics check, if it wrong foots your dexterity, then you just don't have no matter how strong you are.
You don't have the balance to
if you're not balanced, it's going to yank you. No matter how strong you are, because you're on one foot.
Yeah, so you basically end up just go flying towards the
thing. You were trying to use the forces equally, weren't you? To go down the middle.
It was the attempt to.
But it was just... They are nasty. The idea first was to try and go along one side of the room.
Yeah, but then you'd have one magnet pulling at you directly from one side.
Yeah.
And that would be a hell of a lot more harder, I would thought, personally, maybe. I mean, especially if they're a very strong magnet.
They were incredibly strong.
To be able to pull us from anywhere in the room, I would say so.
Almost anywhere. As soon as you start walking forward a bit, they'll start to get the tug.
Yeah.
Then you wouldn't be able to get off the wings enough to get by them to the sides.
We have to stick to the flipping wall and then to even try.
You'd get tugged.
Yeah.
From that proximity.
So yeah,
definitely.
We ended up shutting the door that led out of this room as well, so slow the slime down even some more.
So Tanador hits it, smacks up against the statue, and the stuff starts leaking out of the nostrils and the ears again and attaching to him.
Amelia gets across all fine.
And the other 2 run over and try dragging him off. They're pulling him and pulling him. They're pulling with the rope, aren't they?
Yeah. I was standing by the other end of the rope and I was pulling on that because I'm not going back in that room. But I was the one with the highest strength and I had the might check too. So I was like, right, add their assistance. It took a couple of tries.
Took quite a few tries.
Yeah. It took a couple of tries just to get him to even start to move. Because the first one I messed up.
Advanced threshold.
Took maybe about 5 turns.
And of course, in all of these turns, he's taking damage from.
And it's also penetrating
through his armour. Again,
acidic slime damage.
Again, the theme continues. And the slime in the other room. The whole theme continues.
Indeed.
And that would have eaten armour. If that would have submerged you...
it would have dissolved my armour so fucking fast.
You would have had DOTs. Damage over times every round.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have got to the point where you'd have had to have found some sort of flame to try and keep it back while running from it. It would have got desperate.
Yeah. Good thing we didn't get that bad, though.
Because it could fill up the whole dungeon.
Well, consider it was, 10,000 by 1,000 or something like that?
At the least. No, but that's the room size.
Exactly, that's the room size.
It was compacted. It's mutated and grown.
Yeah.
So it's all folded and squished up. It's compacted up. Slimes can be...
Basically, it turned into a proper gelatinous cube because it was square packed into the room and it was breaking free through the door.
It was filling the entire corridor as it was going, eventually. I mean, the forward part was slippery, but behind it was filled right up to the ceiling. That is you imagine someone trying to go into that dungeon now. How bad they'd find that. Shit. I mean, it's not a creature. It doesn't, slither off.
No.
It's just momentum at this point. It's free, and it's just...
Basically, what we need right now is...
just reaction.
Basically, to get back in there, what we would need is a fuckload of salt.
Yeah, quite a lot indeed. I mean, you discovered that fire would work, but yeah, salt would work as well against it. It's like a slug in that way. So, you finally pull him free, and there's no sign of the slime yet, but I am drawing it on the whiteboard just for fun. Every now and again, I get the green out and do a bit more, and everyone could, it makes you hurry. It makes you hurry your decisions a bit more.
Doesn't it?
You don't hang around so much, do you? Worrying about it. I penalise too much talking and thinking, and you get.
We went out for food, and I got back jokingly fashion. It's right. So how far has the slime moved in our downtime, Helen?
Yeah, I wasn't going to have it do that, but what was happening was because the doors were holding, and it was split through the next door, and it was just seeping through the next one again, and it put the fire out
in the end
eventually.
Yeah.
But what was happening is the doors were still mostly maintaining. It was seeping through cracks through the door, right? What I'd kept doing is I kept rolling all 3 dice. I was waiting for a 666.
And then one of the doors break.
At each point, I'd roll it twice. Looking for a 666.
A door would break, I'm guessing, if that were to occur.
A door would break, and the speed of the slime would
increase.
Would suddenly surprise the whole party. Because there'd be a sudden rush, and you'd look round and say, "What's that noise?" And you'd hear, and you'd see the shadow first round the corner, and then it would come round the corner, and you'd say, "Oh shit, run!" That would be a moment like that. But the dice never rolled that way.
Yeah, fortunately this time round.
No treble 6s. I couldn't do it. There was a 6 and double 5 loads of times. I thought, "Oh God, that's close."
Yeah.
But it just never happened, and I thought that's what it's going to have to be.
Yeah.
Treble 6s, 2 rolls each, every now and then.
Yeah, because we had 2 doors.
Yeah.
And then they became 3, but...
But, if one of them breaks, the whole thing speed up, and if I do it again, then it's going to get really nasty.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. If the first door breaks, then the rush for the second door is going to possibly decrease the threshold required to break it. So you could say treble 5s at that point for the second door.
Yeah, exactly. Or treble anything.
Yeah.
To smash that door down. Yeah.
That would have been fun.
Yeah.
Good thing it didn't happen.
The third door might have been automatic.
Yeah, at that point, yes.
So, what a weird dungeon.
We were fucked. Very, very much so over the constants.
So you ran back up to the junction, and you started pushing up the north way.
Yeah.
And before you could go too much further, you heard a snoring. And it turned out to be the guard bunk room.
Yeah.
Where the extra guards were going to come from.
Yes, because we can't just have them appear out of thin air.
No. So, Karak
sneaky stealth bastard.
Tried doing his stealth sneaking up the passage, but was a little bit too loud and woke one of them up.
Yeah.
But he was too stupid to alert the others.
Yeah. A little bit dumb.
Now, all of them, I did opposed rolls versus him.
Yeah.
And I decided that they were all going to have to beat his failed attempt versus their perception, hearing. Yeah. Right?
Only one did.
And I decided they were going to have to beat it. The one that beat it rolled 14. He rolled 12.
Yeah.
And I'm serious, everyone else rolled exactly 12. Exactly.
Had to beat her.
12. And I decided it was going to have to beat it before any of the rolling happened.
Ooh.
Just because they're actually asleep and they've got to get out of... It's not a normal hearing.
Rather than naturally matching it or
they've got to wake from sleep and hear it.
Yeah, rather than matching it, get the beat.
I decided beat because they're asleep, and they all rolled 12 except one. Yeah. So he doesn't wake the others. He just wanders out of the room. He's attached his weapon, and he comes out wondering what the hell's going on. The rest of the guys run back when they realise what's going on. Leaves Carrack there. He stoops himself and makes himself look a bit like a Genlock, turns his face away and tries to deceive. I really wanted a disguise out of him to do this properly, so he was winging it, and he had to roll high to wing this, to try and do it as a deception. And he was basically... as in come this way. You guys had run back to the junction, back to the bear room, where the bear was.
Where Pete decided to kill the bear.
You'd finished the bear off. Pete didn't want to use... He was like, I want to put the bear out of its misery because it's half tainted. With a dagger. I was like, yeah, its claws can reach you through the cage, right?
It's a great cave bear.
He was like, I didn't want to waste a bolt. I'm like, you don't want to waste a bolt, but you want to put it out of its misery. Just spend the money. He's such a miser, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Such a miser.
Yeah.
He was hoping he'd be able to get another Morning Star given to him at Redhold once they escape, because he's lost his Morning Star on the magnet. He was hoping that they'd give him one from their armoury. They've got axes. They don't do Morning Stars.
Yeah. Ah, dear.
They don't just want to give up their weaponry to him. Jesus. Anyway, this one, he comes back to the bear room. Carrack runs and leads him back. You guys are hid round the corner of the passage. He runs through into it. He spots Carrack again in there, and the deception is done. He goes to make a jump for him. You all jump on him. All I require from the lot of you at this point is just to roll to hit, all successfully hit. Because you've all hit him, I don't even want to roll for damage. He's done. It was a surprise round. Attack of opportunity, it's done for.
Yep.
Sometimes it's just not fun. It's the lot of you against one of him. You know you can beat them in fair fight. This is an unfair fight. Roll to hit. He's half armoured.
Plus, especially on top of all this, if we're wandering around, the slime could catch up as well. It's extra time that you'd have to take out.
It's just not fun. Well. As a GM, you should, if it's not fun...
You shouldn't do it.
Speed it up to the next bit that is fun.
Mm-hmm. Which in this case was Tannadill and the rest of us, well, Carrack, Tannadill, Phelan, at least anyway, decided they were going to sneak up to the...
You were a bit worried.
The sentry room. I was like, I don't have to focus. I'm misclanking about in armour. Rob could technically penalise me just for that. Because I'm in full plate.
Yes. But they managed to get...
I rolled a natural 15, so...
You managed to do it. You got to the room... Two of them were finished off. Your one, you did clank just before you could finish it. He woke, he snapped up, you got an attack on him, the others helped out and finished him off.
Yeah.
Put him back down again into the eternal sleep. Yep. And so then...
6 feet under. Well, I think we're actually a lot more than 6 feet
under.
You
turn back around now, aren't we? And you leave the door open.
Yes, so the slime can fill into that room.
Now, you hadn't seen it past the crossroads yet.
Nope.
Locking off.
Well, let's put it this way, we're kind of hoping there's going to be another way out from here.
Because obviously once it's past that, it's the point of no return, or you're going to have to push through it. And given what you know that they can damage, burn, that could be dangerous, right?
Yeah.
So, you come back out of the room, and you see, because of the way you've come from the south, leading into the barracks, and then the other way going that way, you're kind of at a T-junction.
Yeah. So
you decide to go the right way on the T. Yeah?
The only way we haven't been yet.
The only other way you haven't been. Hoping that the slime isn't going to give you... You still can't see it. So you push along.
Yeah.
into a slightly dark part, and then it ensconces again light the way, over by an area that comes to cells. 4 lots of cells. There's not much in 2 of them, but on 2 of the cells are kids.
Yep.
The kids you were sent in here to find, hopefully, as another objective. A little girl who Karak, with his cunning healing 11, determined, had the taint.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
So,
and considering she's female, as a player, I'm kind of expecting there's possibility they were going to try and turn this girl into a broodmother.
And it was...
Although I was kind of worried about that if we had happened to get completely wiped at all by Yoppa and the lot as well.
And
with Amelia.
Around about some point somewhere here when you're in the north, I explained that there were some horrible sounds coming from the southern area. What had essentially happened was one of the statues had burst, exploded, the slime had come out. The vibration, which hasn't switched off, has sent this thing to expand, and it's already, it's already started now. Because basically it exists all under the floor network. And what it's coming out,
oh dear,
the stuff that's leaking out there is another giant mutated one. It is one whole one.
Yeah, not good.
So it exists right under the floor.
Yeah, that's not happening.
And with this one flowing, in fact, it could be the same one even that comes right up round.
Good.
It could have, grown under and be part of the statues, and now Ayoppa might have basically
found a way to utilise it.
It utilised it as part of the statues to stop armoured knights. Oh, God.
Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear.
So, anyway, because he knew if Avars were coming, so Avars would send mercenaries. Mercenaries wear armour.
Not all of them, apparently, but a lot of them do.
Well, he is a Darkspawn. He thinks what he thinks.
And he's a particularly smart Darkspawn, too.
Yes. So, all of this is exploded, and eventually the other statue exploded.
Yeah.
Which meant the flow of the goo was coming on a bit.
Yeah.
It had finally filled up the entirety of the statue's room, which is room 10 if you're following along, guys. And it started pushing for the junction.
Yeah.
But still, it hadn't cut the way off yet.
Nope.
So you finish off the little girl who was, rocking, head in hands.
Yeah, she's tainted by the blight.
Who did her in?
Karak.
Karak, wasn't it? Yeah.
Blasted her with a...
arcane lance.
Yep. Fuck's sake, Pete.
He wanted to cut her head off.
There's proof of death.
Phelan said, yeah. Proof that she had the taint. So that they don't think we murdered her. And Karak said, look, our word will be enough for her. I think you're going too far. That's really malign.
Well, considering Karak is technically part of the fucking hold now.
If we'd have been playing Dark Heresy, that's the fun of it. Because you, as a GM, you could have said, alright, corruption points.
Yes. That
Evil actions.
Yes, but
Chaotic
in this
taint.
in Karak's defense, in this case, he was putting her... Well, I'm not sure out of her misery is the right wording, but he was definitely doing her as a kindness.
A child with the taint.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that before? I mean, we've had children before in this. Do you remember the 2 kids?
Yeah.
And Amelia couldn't save one of them.
Yeah, it's either one or the other.
It's hard, isn't it? Dragon Age always...
The Devil's Choice, I remember that thing being called, wasn't it?
Something like that, yeah. Dragon Age always gives you something to come
High
away from.
morality choices.
You're always thinking about it afterwards, aren't you? What could I have done different? Could I have saved this person? Could I have saved
Amelia
that one?
wasn't too happy about this whole having to kill the girl.
If you'd have gone north first, would you have saved the girl? Did that make the difference?
I don't know.
What if it did?
I will never know now, that's the issue,
you
isn't
turned
it?
left, not right first. What if I, as the GM, decided...
That if we had actually gone north earlier, she might not have had the taint.
Yeah.
There we go. That's the point there, isn't it?
That's the hard...
If we had gone and took
edged
her first...
sword that is...
And if she hadn't had the taint...
Yeah.
And the boy didn't have the taint...
Yeah.
Then... Because Tanadil took the boy, I would have taken the girl.
Yeah. But you found the boy. He didn't want to go with Phelan. He was scared of him.
Because Phelan freaking did stupid shit.
He was saying about you should be scared of me and all this sort of
It was
rubbish.
like this. The boy mentioned the word monsters. It's like... Phelan was like, yeah, we're monsters. Now come on, get your ass out of there. Kind of routine.
Yeah. He didn't want to go with the dwarf, and it held you lot up. And I'm penalising the group. Because while this is all going on, and Phelan's doing his bravados, and he kept going with it.
Yeah, so much so that I smacked him round the back of the head. In character. I didn't really do that to Pete. That'd be silly.
So yeah, you gave him a gauntleted punch.
Yeah.
And then he punched you back, or tried.
He missed.
Yeah. He swung and missed, and decided,
Okay, I did like 3 damage to him, but it was just enough to knock him out over a little bit, but that was about it.
Well, that's it. His armour absorbed it.
I was like, shut the fuck up.
You've sent him stumbling off his feet, and then he goes for that blow suddenly, and he's missed. You've obviously pulled back like that, or you've guarded against it or something like that.
Basically, it took the combined efforts of me, Carrack, and Tannadil to convince the boy to even leave the cell.
He wanted bloody Phelan to stay behind.
He wasn't really willing to listen to Tannadil because he wasn't a red hold.
Yep.
He wanted Phelan to stay behind because he was afraid of the dwarf. He had nothing to say about Amelia at the time because we didn't really get that far. And Carrack, well, he didn't say nothing about Carrack, really, as far as I'm aware. But even then, Carrack is basically, at this point, his uncle? Because they were his wife's nieces or nephews or some kids.
Yeah.
He's related to them.
Yeah.
He's like, they're like their in-laws now. So he's technically part of Redhold, and he's family just through marriage. So if anyone they should be listening to, it's him.
But he hasn't really encountered him.
Exactly.
So
true enough.
It made things a bit awkward.
I mean, in the end, Amelia eventually just went up to him, eye level.
But what was difficult was he couldn't understand it, even though why the dwarf was there with you, with your saviours.
Yeah, because the dwarf acted like a fucking ass.
That's how bad Phelan is.
Yeah, Amelia went down to eye level, weapons sheathed.
He screwed you guys up, doesn't he?
Well, Amelia had her sword and shield sheathed at this point, and she pretty much just held her hand out to the kid and gave some speech of like how we needed to get out of here. I forget how it went at this particular point in time, but
the slime's coming.
Yeah,
constantly the slime is being drawn in.
Constantly. Yeah, and Tannadil was like, "Yeah, I agree." It's like if you really helps, you can have my hat. That will make you show you are a real warrior.
Which is the wolf head.
Yeah.
From the
kid wasn't having any of that really.
Now you were a bit suspicious about the passage carrying on and then coming to a weird dead end.
Yeah, this is probably just too much gamingness in general has occurred, and I'm like, oh, I can't separate character knowledge from player knowledge type silliness. Right, there's probably a hidden passageway of some variety here.
Searching! I'm like, where?
I'm searching here around the...
And you point on the whiteboard where you're searching. And I was like, alright then. Roll the dice. Even if there was nothing there, I'd say roll the dice.
Exactly.
And then, now here's an important thing, guys. If you're GMing Dragon Age, don't tell your party the target number.
Don't tell the target number. Don't tell them not to do something ever.
Right, don't tell them the target number, even though you like to know the bloody target number, because some people roll shady and silly, and you can't see their dice.
Yeah.
And they want to say, yeah, I've passed, and people will say they passed before you've even told them the target number.
Sometimes, like, we've had that with Pete before. It's like, I haven't even told you what stat to roll on, or the difficulty modifier.
Yeah, exactly. But, and then you've got the other reason of being, if there's nothing there, you can maintain the paranoia by saying, you don't discern anything.
Exactly.
And they're like, was that a fail or a pass?
Just like you did in another room later on.
Because if you're looking... How would you know that you've successfully not seen something? You'd only know if you've seen something, not that you've not seen something. You don't think you've seen anything. You haven't seen anything to make you think there's something there.
Exactly.
But you haven't not seen anything to know that there's not nothing there.
We're going round and round and round and round and round and round with madness.
Wait a minute, tentacle. No.
You're turning into Dieter now.
Oh, it's too much Mansions of Madness, Cthulhu.
Oh dear God. Yes, true enough.
Spell of shriveling! Right. Anyway.
Yeah, so I found a secret passageway.
Yeah, well done. We did the Zelda reveal music there. I need that as a soundboard, don't I? On a soundboard. Do-do-do-do.
Yeah. And like...
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, that would be loot, wouldn't it? Do-do-do-do. And then
that's when you open the chest.
Yeah, that's the reveal music. Yeah. Yeah, oh, God.
That's where we find a magical piece of equipment that helps us get through the dungeon easier. You have found a hook shot.
Yeah.
Or magnetic boots, or whatever the hell they have as well.
Went into the secret passage
Yep.
with the kid, and you decided, right, there's a pedestal here, it's probably trapped. And you were being...
Basically,
This is the thing where I didn't want to tell you a target.
We were taking the piss, like, right, Indiana Jones has got a card occurring here. But what exactly is going to happen?
And this is just one of those things where the players are being very paranoid unnecessarily. But I'm adding to that paranoia by not giving you a target number.
Yeah.
Because I lay everything in your hands. I take away intensity. Because even after you'd done the roll, and you'd rolled like a 17 to check.
You're like...
To see if it is
You
trapped.
don't discern anything. Pretty much.
And that's the very same thing I'd say if you failed or passed.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing there. Passed and there's nothing there is as fun as a fail. In of itself. Because you still haven't seen anything.
Now, we usually have a silliness of, like, if we roll badly, we say, oh, well, like, not like that, we're not doing it.
You're sure to the best of your ability that it isn't trapped, as far as you think.
Yeah. The pedestal itself wasn't trapped.
No. And there was a necklace on the front of it. A pearl necklace.
Yeah.
So, Tanadol snatched that up. Karak pushed on the pedestal to see if
Pete tried to steal the necklace from Tanadol.
Turns out that the pearl necklace, I can reveal now, no one wanted to wear it yet. Although I should find out if anyone wants to wear it first. But I'll tell you in Viewerland what it does.
Craig doesn't watch these. I'm not sure about Jez.
Jez does.
Yeah.
But I'll try and get it out of them first. If someone's wearing it. So, watch that.
Yeah.
Because these are the pearls of wisdom.
Yeah, Craig seemed to have a feeling that's like, ooh, purity. Pearls, purity, resistance to poison.
Yeah, no. These are...
Which even more so, considering what happened next.
These are +1 to all lore tests. These special pearls have some sort of spirit energy absorption.
Yeah. A spirit of knowledge, if you will, I would say.
An empathic element to the beads, to the pearls. And everybody that's ever worn them, something of their knowledge has gone into it.
Yeah, there's at least one pearl for every knowledge.
So, all of the different knowledges, you've got +1, and you might suddenly recall facts that you didn't know or didn't know that you knew. And, oh, God, I must have known it.
Like, I'm sure I didn't know that, but apparently I do.
Wow, I do know that. You wouldn't know that you've got the Pearls of Wisdom. The player would know that he's got the magic item, but he's not going to be like... He's not going to be... you can't be too stupid.
Basically, it's not going to be like, oh, it gives you a plus freaking whatever to intelligence, basically, in D&D terms.
There are some things you just have to accept the loss of immersion on, haven't you, really? With, like, magical loot. The player knowledge that the fact... I know you could get it checked out by a mage and they tell you what it does, but then, you imagine in character the mage, the wizard turn around, yes, you got all the trouble of having it checked. I can discern that this does +1 to all lore tests.
That's basically it.
I know you'd explain it away a bit better.
Yeah,
but really it's just...
I get what you're saying.
You're hamming it up. It's a bit of flannel, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
It's a bit of bullshit. You're dressing it.
Yeah, at that point.
I don't want to get into that. That gives me a headache. That tires me out. I want to concentrate on just running the fucking thing.
There's a lot of the own player-created stuff that I know you're trying to pull that I can't wait to see how you're going to do later down the line, especially with...
What like?
Oh, like the Dungeoneer stuff.
Oh, right.
Nicodemus the Wizard.
Conversion stuff.
Yeah. I remember some of the old Titan stuff. I mean,
we're going to continue that, yeah.
The NPCs in that were just hilarious. I mean, Nicodemus, for starters, the wizard living under the bridge.
We've got about 4 more adventures of that whole thing to come still. Yes, definitely.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
He was fun.
Anyway, enough about that. So, you're in here and you find the... You then find the box is easy to pick open.
Yeah.
So
and Pete goes, yoink.
Opens it up. And the trap is actually a poison needle.
Mm-hmm.
Which he fails, it hits him, and he's -3 strength.
Yeah.
Now, you guys have already got injuries on you as well, giving you minus effect.
Yeah.
Now, we're implementing that Dragon Age style as well, these injuries. So it's random, like, things that they take away your buff from, and you guys had been trying to cure it a bit. I was allowing you to do a quick on-the-spot injury kit making by using 6 healing kits in one go, taking the components of them, thus
Speaking of which, I need to buy some more healing kits, probably, myself, just for the sheer fact of us having them.
Leaving them exhausted.
Yeah.
Or all the important ingredients are gone, mostly from them. So they're spent, effectively. And from those 6 goes, you can then do a target number 11 cunning healing. And if you succeed,
well, considering Tanadil
or
was
fail, you spend the 6.
Yeah.
And you take away one of the chosen injuries.
Yeah.
However, no, not the injury, but the effect of the injury.
Yeah, not the actual injury itself.
You still have to roleplay and have the injury. You've still got the wound.
Deep wound, head trauma, in
But
Karak's
it's it's not giving you a negative right now.
I mean, Tanadil had a damaged arm.
Yeah.
He couldn't... while he didn't lost his -2 strength negative against him,
It's basically...
he still had to go with the sheer fact that I'm going to swing this sword. I've hit the thing, but I'm going to wince slightly because, ouch, that hurts my arm hitting you.
I guess in a case like that, it's numbed the bloodstream. If something's entered the bloodstream, something in the compound, and it's numbed the whole arm so he can't feel anything.
Yeah.
So it can't hurt, but he's damaging it.
That's the issue.
He's damaging it by what he's doing.
Yeah. That's the issue.
So he's forcibly had to have it numbed to take it away.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard eventually. It's hard graft.
Oh, yes, indeed. Pete ended up with the initial injury of a -2 constitution, for pity's sake.
Yeah.
So that was fun. I had to deal with that. All those injuries. I mean, Amelia was the only one who didn't have an injury at that particular point. But then Pete went down to -2 on his strength rolls because of the poison. Which, if I remember rightly, you said was different from how the original concept had it.
I made a lot of things different. Why not?
Yeah, well, considering what some things are like, they definitely do need changing. So yeah, with Pete with his -3 strength modifier now on him.
Now
put him down to -2.
It's a hard life, isn't it?
It's a good thing it wasn't me
It's
or
a hard
Tan
knock
that
life.
opened that. Otherwise we would have been really fucked over.
Yeah. Now it's lucky for him that he uses a crossbow that doesn't rely on strength.
No, it's dexterity to hit.
But you need
And deception for damage.
You need certain strength to wield things effectively.
Yes, you do.
Which could start to get it a problem again.
Yeah.
Because you might not even be strong enough to hold the thing up properly and fire it effectively.
Basically, it injected a poison into his
like
system that made him physically weak.
Oh, God. That is bad, isn't it? But you see, he's failing the stuff that he, as a rogue, needs to be passing. The trap checks and the things. He's failing it, isn't he? You know, the jumping over the hole, that jumping over the gap and all that sort of thing, the trap. And where these traps he didn't spot the trap you did.
Oh, I was at the front.
Pit trap and that sort of thing. You know, no, but he chose not to be at the front. Shouldn't the rogue really be on point?
I think he wanted to be at the front, but...
He was about to run past and go to the front, but you were at the front by the time you'd got to the trap.
Well, the fact of the matter is, I was at the front, he was going to be running, and not bothered to even try and look for traps.
Now, what I usually do with something like this, I usually say, if the party are looking for it, I'll give you a reduced test of like 12, 11 to 13.
Yeah.
Depending on how hard it is.
Indeed.
If you are not looking for it, and you're just going by, I'll probably make it something like 17 up. Just to spot it on the off chance.
There's one, this particular point, I spotted it, I was like, going for out the door, I was like, stop! You don't want to set this one off.
Well, you know, I'd handed you a note, hadn't I? But anyway, that was back then.
Yeah.
Now, of course, what has happened here, the slimes previously has had to fill up the trap as well, which is 15 feet deep, and then fill all of that up before it carries on down the hall again.
Indeed.
So that slowed it down a bit more, actually.
Yeah. And then at this point, we had actually sorted out the loot, because we got some money out of the chest as well.
About 180 silver, wasn't it?
Like over a gold between the four of us.
Not bad.
Pete tried to do his thing of like, right, I'm having that myself.
Yeah, you weren't letting him do that, were you?
No.
You were on that, sharpish. Oh dear. So, you were a bit worried about going back the other way, because surely the slime will have sealed off the way. Now,
Could have possibly
if you'd have tried looking, I'd have asked you how fast you're going back.
Yeah.
If you'd have said that you were, or I'd have seen how fast you're choosing to go back.
So running back.
If you'd have said you were running, I'd have had you do running tests.
Yeah.
If you would have done effective running tests to have appeased versus the
Whatever.
how far the slime was going to encroach on you.
Yeah.
Basically, each running test you do to a threshold,
Mm.
I'd be rolling the dice again. And if I hit triple sixes,
Goes the door.
and it would come as a rush, and you'd skid and have to run the other way,
Like,
possibly.
shit, run back.
Basically, if you were going to get to the junction.
Yeah.
So, it was going to be awkward. But you didn't decide to do that. You decided to try and find another way.
Oh, we found this special dwarven door.
Yeah, it turned circular. It turned out that it's a false brick, a false stone, and it turns circular up round, and the whole thing slides and clicks, and then the whole thing just opens.
Yeah.
You've got to admire the dwarves, haven't you? The way that
Very smart.
the way that they build.
Oh yeah. Very, very much.
Their
so.
engineering and architecture is
It's very unique.
it's very special.
Definitely that.
It felt dwarven, didn't it? The way it'd be circularly opened like that.
Yes, they like their circles, I notice. When it comes down to it.
It's a very, very dark passage that leads on. Loads of spider webs and nasty things in there.
And we decided to go down that way.
So out comes the lantern with the glowstone in. The little slider thing is revealed to let the glowstone shine outwards. So as you press on, you find it's actually quite long. You've given up the ghost for the other way completely now. It must be the slime's going to, just be too
Well, we've had
much.
both of the statues go boom at this point.
Yeah,
So if that's going to help probably speed up the process to begin with.
a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
So you've you came out to a huge
Cavernous
natural
area.
a big cavern.
We like caverns.
And
Because there's wolves there.
it kind of had that sort of, oh my god, we're going to fight Onyxia now, boss encounter kind of room.
Yeah.
It had
That's
a
one way to put it.
opening in the ceiling where you could see daylight.
Many whelps, left side, even side to deal with it.
And the point of the opening, I put a dotted point. next to
You'll
it.
never find us 50 DKP for not knowing what the fuck to do.
And there are a bunch of like naturally formed pillars that went up, connected to the ceiling. There was a load of spiders' webs everywhere, really big ones and small ones. And
yeah. If Onyxia was a spider, it would definitely have been that.
oh god, something far worse than a common dragon. Probably worse than a high dragon in some respects. In some ways,
Maybe in some fashion, just
or at least on the same level as
yeah.
a high dragon. In some respects,
Possibly
because
in tier level, it's probably closer to a drake, but
this thing will have killed dragons. What exists in here will have had a dragon fly down to think
it would have literally
thinking
this thing
is
would
a
have
good home.
this thing would have literally had a dragon, like Tanadil would have put it.
And this thing would have been like, okay, you're a high dragon, but you're in my territory.
Oh, you're on my grounds now, matey. You're playing by my rules. Paralytic poison.
Now, what we've got here is an extremely dangerous situation. And just before you could walk forward into the cavern to find a way to climb out, a familiar voice pipes up. And out from the side walks Diatham Alvar, the Dalish elf that you've met a couple of times before.
He's got a nice scar down his face, if you remember rightly.
Over the eye. And he speaks, oh yeah, you wouldn't want to disturb the lady. I'd recommend you turn back and go the other way.
We can't do that.
They were saying, how did you get down here? Did you fall? No, I just came through the roof. Yeah, I fell.
It was like, oh, falling's such a strong word. Okay, so did you descend from the roof in a spectacular fashion. Okay, I fell. Oh dear.
But he landed really well.
Yes, he did.
Scorecards.
Yes, I'm wondering how he didn't upset the lady by getting in here first.
Maybe he was fibbing about the way he actually got in.
Yeah, as well, yeah. Like, how come she's just a lady? Why don't you know her name? Well, it's probably because I didn't sleep with her. It's only the gentlemanly thing to do, right? You gotta ask the lady the name if you sleep with her.
Didn't sleep with her, don't know her name.
Shadow's like, yep, that sounds about right. I have that same idea.
So, you wouldn't want to sleep with this one.
No.
Now, walking forward would be quite a bad idea.
Yeah, well, we can't walk backwards because that would be an even worse idea.
I'd recommend you do that. They were saying, how do you plan on leaving here? Oh, I'd do that. I'll go back out there.
Okay, so why don't you go walk through the big
And we'll
slime
follow
that's
you.
advancing it through, and we'll, yeah.
And he was like, oh, you set off the slime, did you?
It's like, how do you know about the slime? I know quite a lot, basically.
And she will have heard everything you've said since you've been on this mountain.
Oh, so you heard the bit where I said I wanted to cut the girl's head off? I didn't hear about that.
But she did.
And of course, at this point, the lady has walked out.
She's walked out, and he's disappeared.
Yeah.
You got to follow him behind a rock, and he's gone.
What has she got, like a black gown on or something? Red hair? Or is it the other way around?
Yeah, she's wearing a black gown with a slightly red hue to her skin. Reddened hair.
Right. Well,
And-
red hair's bad enough to point out to begin
She
with.
tells you leave. Now.
Karak was pretty much just trying to be convincing.
Turn-
Like, we can't go back that way. We need
Turn back.
to go up this way.
Carax, even tried kneeling before her when she stated that she is the queen.
Mm-hmm.
She's the primal Blood Reaver queen of eons past.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea to annoy her.
Yeah.
Tanador starts trying to creep around one of the rocks to try and
And she's probably already noticed that he's doing that.
put a surprise move on her. But her perception is very high.
Oh yeah, I bet she automatically noticed it just to the sheer fact there's cobwebs on that floor, and she can sense it through that.
She can sense it through all of her webs.
It's an instant pass. That's how spiders work.
She's got a natural 4 before you start having focuses. So
But this is the thing. She's meant to be a spider of some variety. With
she's
all
not
these
just a
cobwebs.
spider queen. She's a proper ancient.
Exactly.
This is-
spiders. As soon as something triggers their web, they automatically feel the vibrations.
Like some of the dragons.
Mm.
And like the dragons are considered god level.
Well, considerably with the Tevinter, they kind of worship the bastards.
They're kind of gods, aren't they, the
Mhm.
dragons? Well,
I think
she's
there's something in the law that works like that.
she's a god as well,
remember.
in that respect. She is like them,
Yeah.
but a spider.
Yeah.
Much more than a queen. She will have spawned the queens.
Mm-hmm.
But she's a very special one. She can become. That is red in colour with black
Yeah, she's...
armoured.
She is basically, in
Parts.
Lord of the Rings terminology, Middle-earth terminology, she's the mother of Shelob, for pity's sake. I can't remember the pronunciation of that name, but it began with a U. But damn, she was actually servant of Morgoth. And that's that's bad enough. Knowing that much. That 10 times bigger than Shelob's depicted to be. That one.
And this was you obviously you fought queens and stuff in Dragon Age.
In the computer
You
game,
had to come up against them.
Yeah,
the big ones.
especially in number 2 where they showed you.
And they're pretty tough.
In number 2, it was
Spiders.
flipping huge. It was like the size of this room we're in.
However, what she became when she cocooned herself
As big as a house, I'd say.
and broke out of it again was pretty intense.
I'd say as big as a house.
Massive size. Terrible. Yeah, it was like a kind of small house, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah. Dayaphim was like, oh yeah, she's probably heard everything you said whilst you were in the woods. Or, how did you put it? In the woods, right?
Yeah,
Crazy.
that's hilarious. He's funny.
He has his moments, doesn't he? Every time he shows up.
Yeah.
He's got something to say about us.
He's so carefree.
Yeah.
So,
There might be a small opportunity of a cave-in. Is it, how is this cave-in going to happen? Oh, you'll see.
So, she's pissed off and she goes into combat mode.
Yeah.
You guys all start climbing.
Yeah.
Amelia's leading the way.
Yep.
Tanadal is climbing up as well.
With the kid on his back.
He's still got the boy on his back. This is an important note to remember, everybody.
Yeah. So we're making the test a little bit harder for him, or at least slowed him down a little. Successful.
Karak is behind.
And Phelan's up behind him.
Karak slips once.
Phelan slips once.
Hurts himself. Has to start climbing again. Phelan slips. But by the time Phelan has slipped...
She's burst out the cocoon.
She's on him. And she has got 2 initiative turns. And she always procs stunts. So basically, every time Phelan tries getting away, she's using her stunt procs to skirmish him back. That's a web.
Yeah.
Web him back to her.
Yeah, she poisoned him as well.
Yeah.
So -2 dex.
-2 dex, easier to hit, less speed. Oh, it was pretty bad, wasn't it? He tried doing an initiative breakaway.
That didn't help.
And couldn't. But, a disengage.
Yeah, Karak managed to heal him up.
Yeah,
after he took a lot of damage.
From the pillar, it got dangerous. And
he was like, I managed to... He did roll quite a good number for the... I'm holding on. Whilst I cast a heal.
Yeah. Yeah, it was actually a good number. So, he... Then... he's going down again. Massive damage on Phelan. I mean, he's...
Armor pen. It's just ridiculous as well with that.
Well, no, it wasn't even armor pen. But it's
well,
just
she hit him with an armor pen first, and then she did some naturally high damage.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, what was negated by the armor, she did the armor penetration damage on top, which was the armor. Most of the time. So, he took like 4 damage from the armor penetrating damage, and then followed by like another 11 after that. So, we went down almost twice from all that nonsense. Down to 0.
He took another pot. He took a health potion. Because he blagged one off of Tanadil.
Yeah.
Before it all got going.
Yeah.
And it was lucky he did.
And then decided to go break away.
Because he was trying to break away then. And the final attack put him on 2 health.
Yep.
2 hit points left.
Yes.
So he was basically completely exhausted.
In the middle of all this...
Ready to be annihilated.
And in the middle of all this, whilst we're climbing, Tanadil says, I'm going to jump from my climbing position onto the back of the spider.
And plunge my sword into her.
Yeah. Oh, and also she had summoned some smaller ones.
Yeah.
They're still pretty big to begin with.
They're giant spiders. Giant red ones. She's got a stunt thing where
I'm surprised they probably wouldn't have the special Reaver special bonuses either.
She pays 4. And in comes giant spiders. And because she gets her dragon die every round, you imagine how many times she could bring spiders if she got lucky.
Yeah.
It's not funny, is it? Trying to fight her. She's a raid boss.
You did use Elite, or Epic, or whatever variation.
It was epic. It goes Elite,
technically,
heroic, epic.
The fact of the matter is you could put the mobs that she was summoning, they could have had the Reaver specialization bonuses too. They wouldn't have been as powerful as hers.
No. And then what happened was he decided, you were like, oh.
You're going to do that with a kid on your back, right?
You're carrying the kid.
You want to do that?
And he was like, oh god, I forgot I was carrying the kid.
Yeah, you did, didn't you?
Jump onto the spider's back. Oh, I love it. Anyway, I'm not that evil. I said,
you let him take it back.
I said, you forgot you're carrying the child. Tanador would know he's got the child because of the weight. I know he's a bit big and dumb, but he would know that. I'll let you take it back if you want to, but I'll let you do it if you want to as well.
Yeah.
All right. He decided to take it back. So, in that respect, he carried on climbing.
Yeah.
Now, Amelia thought she saw something at the top. She saw something somewhere there, but she didn't let on to anyone else what she saw, and that was the end of it. Now, this is the power that you can empower your players as a GM by writing a little thing on a post-it note or on a separate bit of paper.
Or just taking them to one side.
Or just taking them away and telling them a bit of information about something else. And then they choose whether they want to impart it or not.
Yeah.
On this occasion, Amelia chose not to. You know, it's just... nah.
See if it was important enough to tell.
No, that's fine. You've got something you've got something there, haven't you? You know something. And,
yeah.
No, that's empowered you. I had people do, like, perception seeing.
Yep. It's the only one to pass.
Whatever the target number was, and you still don't even know what the target number was.
Yeah, I know why I rode, but...
Exactly. See, now that empowers the GM. So it's all a learning experience. You get better with practice at these things, don't you?
Yes.
So she's gone all crazy.
Yeah.
Her spiders start climbing the column that you guys are climbing up, because one of these columns lead right up to the ceiling.
And Carrick's like,
to the
fuck!
Up to the thing. And the spiders start coming up. Now the problem is, one of these spiders starts trying to fire webs at Carrack.
Immune to webbing.
The cloak he's spent that money
Spider
on.
skill cloak. Spider skill.
Silk. He cannot be webbed.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say, silk.
it like bounced off his barrier and slipped off him.
Yeah.
That's it. It just rolled off him and fell.
Natural immunity.
But a lot of it's still stuck on the thing, on the rock.
On the wall itself. So
but
he used it as extra climbing handholds.
When he failed, instead of falling, he was able to use it.
Hold of it, yeah.
He was able to climb using the handholds of it, indeed.
Hmm.
And now, when Phelan did manage to break away and was left on the 2 health, he tries... Basically, the whole thing caves in from above, and it creates this natural slope that leads all the way up to air. And Phelan tries running for it. And, of course, he's on 2 hit points left. She decides, I'm going to go after Carrack.
Yeah.
So she scampers really fast in one move.
Now, at this particular point,
Right
Amelia's
up to the
got to the top. Tannadale's got up. Amelia's helped him up. Amelia's got her crossbow out and is like, right, fuck this. First thing that comes into my sights, I'm shooting it.
Yeah. So you fired at the big one.
Yeah. I wasn't originally aiming for that one.
And you hit her.
She just got in the way.
You hit her. You actually did damage.
A little bit.
A mighty blow.
Only for 1 point, but...
So that was...
I drew blood, if you will.
In realistic terms, you probably didn't even draw blood. You probably scarred the armour.
Yeah.
Because she's got all this black, sharp armour parts that kind of like...
Yeah.
You know, like a...
I probably took a chip off of it or something.
Yeah, exactly. You put a dent in it. Yes. Sliced with a bolt.
Yeah.
Crike.
Might have a small hole, maybe. Didn't go very far in.
And she tried webbing Carrack as well.
Didn't work.
And that didn't work, and she couldn't believe it. Even though she's a spider, you could almost like see the exclaim on her face.
And Carrack's looking directly at the 8 eyes in front of him, reflections of himself. He's like, fuck, 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 fuck.
At this point, Carrack manages to scrabble for a rope.
Yeah.
You two have managed to swing to him.
Tannadale has, at least anyway.
And he's got a hold of it, and he's being pulled up out of her reach. And she's about to start scrabbling up it until the column then snaps, breaks away in 3 pieces, like that, all the way to the bottom. And it falls apart, and she falls back down again with it.
Yeah.
And everything all starts caving in. Now, from above, in the open ground where you are, you can see the ground all the way along sinking, falling down into the cavern.
Yeah.
The whole ground, and it's grassy, just collapses all the way along, collapses, and it follows the route of the tunnel. So that whole section on the upper plateau of where it comes out on the mountain has collapsed all the way around. That's crazy.
Yeah, very much so.
All that debris and smoke coming up from it all. And then Phelan comes up all covered in white up the slope. And the whole thing is just caving in.
And he's like, looks like a dwarven ghost, you say?
Yeah. Yeah, he almost was a bloody ghost.
Yeah, with that amount of health left,
he got stranded down there. He was too short to climb, too weak to climb. It's lucky that you got a lucky break there.
Yeah, that -2 on his strength tests.
-3.
-2 because that was what his stat was.
Oh, his stat was -2, yeah.
Yeah. He had a natural of 1, with -3 off, it puts him on -2, which is the lowest you can technically go with a starting stat.
Yeah. Fun, isn't it? That really had him. But you
It
guys...
hampered him, that's for certain.
You guys were... This isn't necessarily your fight. This fight was more an idiot check. There was a clear way out. I knew that the cavern would arrange itself to give you a way out.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to have her follow you out onto land.
No, we would have been severely screwed if she had
Because she was a level 10 epic. And you're level 4.
We would have needed a small army.
So that wasn't going to happen. It's basically, in WoW terms, we were joking, it's a hogger raid. Basically, isn't it?
You just get a bunch of level 5s.
A Goldshire hogger raid.
Yeah, get a bunch of level 5s together. Well, we're going to take down Hogger.
You had escaped from there. I decided I'll only let you fight the full force of her if you try.
And we didn't.
I gave you that option to try or not to try.
Yes, well, it would have been a bad idea.
You've run. You've had to run from something that was too powerful.
I thought the first time.
No. No, it isn't. I wonder if Tanador's going to be like, I've had a giant spider.
If he starts with that, I'm going to start shoving my sword down his throat and say, yeah? Yeah? Now you fucking live through that, mate.
Yeah, you watch it. She might have ears everywhere. She's got enough eyes.
Exactly, and that worries me.
And you've made another enemy now.
Yes.
A primal.
Yes.
Ancient.
Indeed. And then we probably killed one of her spawn.
Shit, if you ever come across spiders from now on, she might be able to see through their eyes. Any giant spider. Or any tiny spider. What if she can see through the eyes of any spider?
Yeah, exactly.
There's spiders all around you all the time.
Yeah.
She might know where you are.
That's probably how she was able to track us and know what we were doing in the mountain to begin with. Oh yeah, we got out of there, and the next thing we know, back to Redhold.
Yes. Now, you've got the kid out, and Jez had an interesting encounter. Tanador had a fun one. He was sitting at the bar,
Badger lady,
having a good drink, and he thought he saw a badger moving along the edge of the table. And of course, he's scared of badgers, petrified indeed.
Yes, and this is the reason why.
Yes. And then the badger began raising. And it turned out the badger was actually the hairstyle of a very big, brawny, set Avar woman. And she slaps her own chest with her fist and says, you know, what about our arranged marriage? You haven't contacted me again. When are we going to arrange for me to come and kidnap you? And of course, the barman's like, I thought...
Isn't it the other way around?
Isn't it supposed to be the other way around? You're supposed to kidnap the females? And so, yeah, but not this one. And she smacked herself and it made her giant big left breast start wobbling in her like a... Yeah,
so I was kind of thinking, now are we going to have some silly Miss Chokes on Dick references here for freaking South Park? Because that's what for some reason was in my head for some reason. Oh, like, oh dear, oh dear.
Yes. And Tanador just gets up and starts like
trying to run away,
getting over to the door.
I mean, it was like, I want to see how funny this could be. I'm going to push him into her.
But before any of that can happen, and before you can get to the door, a load of Avars step in the way and block her.
But why?
And say that the shaman has told them that Tanador is a survivor. He is blessed by the goddess of death, the lady of the sky. And that he, from now on, within the Avarian culture, shall be known as the elect of the sky. It's an Avar-only honorific.
So he has a title?
He does. He is the elect of the sky. It means that he's chosen of the goddess of death. The shaman has said.
And then he's harder to kill because of it, right?
Yeah. Basically, what has happened now...
He wasn't already hard enough.
He's +2 on tests.
Of all interactions.
With social interactions with all Avars.
Mm.
Furthermore, he can never now be one-shot by any enemy outright because of his favoured fate amongst the gods.
Yeah.
The goddess.
Basically, the first time he's reduced... Anytime he's reduced to 0 wounds...
It's a pulled killing blow.
Automatically.
Pulling the killing blow automatically. Then it would have to be a coup de grace finisher. They basically stepped in her way and said, he's the elect of the sky. He now has to marry into a higher caste than you are.
Yeah. Lucky him.
They've saved him.
Lucky Tanador.
Now, she's got a real chip on her shoulder. It would be funny, actually, if one of the group dies. Someone could come in and play her.
Oh, dear God. That's almost like flipping putting Angelique in with Maestro in TFT.
Yeah. Anyone seen the Elevated Travels? It's very much like having Angelique come in. Crikey. Right. So, it pretty much wrapped there.
Mm.
you've had to do some serious repairing.
Yep.
You lost a lot more than you gained.
Well,
although you
I
did
gained more than I lost.
You monetarily you gained more.
Yeah.
But you burned through a lot of supplies.
Yeah.
And you got loads of experience.
We dinged to level 5.
And pushed forward a bit more on top. Because a lot of their experience was a lot of, ingenuity in dealing with the problems, like putting the rope across to try and, keep centered with the statues. And though it didn't work, it was the idea that you were trying to do it and that you actually worked for you. And the ideas of propping the table against the door so that it, even when it does leak out. And I wasn't going to penalise you for making it leak out because it leaking out was fun for me as the GM to run. I'm not going to penalise you for making it more fun for me.
Well, that'd be silly, wouldn't it?
I'm not going to, they've done something wrong.
Well, if they've done something wrong, then yes, definitely a 0, but maybe, depending on the situation of deciding what wrong is.
Deciding that time, Phelan deciding to hit the incense burner to knock the Zort and Throg straight out of the fight.
Especially since both me and Pete
that was a 0.
Had run that situation before and were aware of how it worked.
Exactly. So that was always going to be. But here, I was going to have fun with whatever you were going to do. I have to draw some sort of something from it and take it from that. I think you guys had a real good time over these 2 sessions, didn't you?
Definitely.
This is one of the best ones yet, wasn't it? Really.
You could say that again.
These 2 sessions were really memorable. They probably go up there with the Siege of Redhold, don't they?
Very close call during the fight with the Opera. That's for certain. You're almost deaf for all 3 players. If they had all died, Amelia would have been running that entire dungeon by herself and probably would have ended up getting killed.
Well, would have Amelia just backed out of there or what?
She would have to try to find a way out. There's no way I can finish this by myself.
Wow. That would have been scary, wouldn't it? You're going to spend a bit of time there now. Karak's learning the ways of the spirit healer. It will be learning to access the spirits of animals.
But he won't be able to utilise it until level 6, obviously.
It's going to take him that long practising it. That's how we're explaining it away. It takes practice. At the moment, he needs to summon them using meditation and special compound of burning
incense stuff.
Yeah, like an incense. Special herbs to burn in a pot and meditating to actually connect to the spirits.
Yes, he needs to basically learn how to access them naturally.
It's kind
without these. He needs to get on this to be able to hit it, to naturally be able to do it, and then wean off it slowly so he can do it by himself.
It's an Avar culture version of a sort of Fade site.
Yeah.
Fade site. You don't enter the Fade, but you're sensitive to the Fade.
Yeah, you draw on spirits to help you heal better.
But you're drawing on the Avarian culture of the animal spirits.
Yeah.
Namely...
Which could technically mean you're calling on either the Hold's special animal, or you could be calling on animal aspects of the gods.
Certain
like
aspects,
the hawk.
Yeah. If you wanted scouting information, or something like that. Obviously, spirit healing is usually healing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it would have to have, be characterful to that point.
Yeah, whatever the god or goddess of life would be. He thinks.
It could be more...
if the Avars have that.
It could be more in the case that you'd summon a red lion, and Karak would possibly have a death sight. If death was something he could see happening, the danger of it starting to wrap round a player like a sort of miasma of black swirling stuff.
Yeah.
Right, and it start to go around their body.
Slowly encompassing
his spirit healing could basically control the spirit form of the red lion that only he can see. Basically, he eats some Frosties.
They're great!
And this thing appears that only he can see. Have you ever noticed, the Frosties have got some strange white thing on it. The kid eats them, and then something appears to him that everyone else can't see except the kid. And then he starts... His performance is suddenly enhanced at sports. Urine test, somebody? Disqualification much?
Yeah.
Anyway, he'd sort of see the red lion, and I imagine he'd come along and attack, swipe through the person,
Yeah.
swipe the black swirling stuff away.
Yeah, the miasma away and all that.
To basically pull away death, that would be the healing.
In an RP sense of how it would look, possibly,
The
yeah,
actual
that works.
threat of death, that's how we'd be controlling it. Rather than a spirit healer's normal way, like Wynn.
Wind, yeah, well, she had a natural spirit
Accessing...
in her case.
Well, yeah. This would be...
sharing her life force.
This deeply goes into the Avarian culture. I mean, the way he's looking at himself now, he's a tall dwarf. He's a human who is a dwarf, as he sees it, because he was adopted by dwarves.
Yeah.
Who is married to an Avar, and he's going to be a spirit healer via Avar culture, yet he's an apostate in Ferelden terms.
Yep.
He's a mess, isn't he?
He's definitely a mess.
I wonder what else is he's... He's probably going to be a blood mage as well at some point. So he'd be a spirit healer and blood mage. That would be hilarious, wouldn't it?
Considering that would be completely and utterly ridiculous.
Both.
To be both is completely and utterly opposite of each other.
But only he could pull that off.
It depends on how high he can get it, if he even bothers to put his constitution up.
Tall dwarf.
Like I said, if he even bothers to put his constitution up. In gamey terms.
Well, unfortunately, you do have to mater a little bit. Because from the point of view that...
Requirements for stats.
Because of a lot of the requirements. Weapons have requirements to even use.
Some talents
Specializations.
Specializations and talents have their own requirements. I mean, you need to have, like, perception, whatever, for one weapon style, or dexterity, 2 for the whole fact you need to be able to dual wield. And the like. I mean, strength, you'd probably need a lot of strength to be able to use a two-handed weapon. To begin with, you need, like, strength 2 for a two-handed sword.
Right, well, we'll pull it there. So thanks so much for joining us. And, running this for you guys has been an absolute blast. And we'll see you for session 21 when we run it. Until next time, guys, I'll see you at the table.